Shed from Shed All Over the Page. Consider this just straight up my theory on what happened with COVID 19 and Fauci. Donald Trump came into office and man, did people hate his guts. And the reality is, when he was running, both sides hated him, Republicans and Democrats. Neither side liked him. Trump had been a Democrat sometime in his life, he'd been a Republican sometime in his life. But both sides hated him. Um, and my view is the reason they hate him, he's an outsider. Uh, they didn't want an outsider coming into their system and screwing up what they had. So he comes in, and after a while, it's obvious this guy's moving up, and so the Republicans jumped on the bandwagon just because they're on his shirt tails to try to get elected. That's it in a nutshell. Man comes in and starts doing things differently. Now you got to realize we're what, $39 trillion in debt, pushing 40 trillion. He comes in and starts changing things, and that starts, to me, scaring the status quo. And the status quo is the Democrats, the Republicans. It's all the people that are in power in the deep state. He starts scaring them. Economy starts doing great. People are getting jobs. They're getting jobs because the jobs pay more. Cost of living starts going down. And that's a threat. That's a threat to the power that's in there that's done nothing for the last couple of years. All right, so now we got a problem. This guy's going to run for a second term. Mainstream media piled in straight with the Democrats. So the reality is the mainstream media, who I used to respect so much as a younger person, they're a joke. I mean, it's just horrible. And then if you get into the off mainstream, like CNN and MSNBC, they're even worse. They're a complete joke. The big three networks, what we used to call ABC, CBS, and NBC, it's obvious they didn't like Trump. Were they all getting kickbacks from the system? I'm not sure. All right, so but here's the deal. So Trump's doing good. And all of a sudden, here's my view, they need to wait. They don't want this guy getting elected again, because he gets elected and he starts looking at where the money's going, where the waste, fraud, and abuse is. We got a problem. I mean, we've been sending billions of dollars all over this world for just absolutely asinine and stupid things, and you know it's getting washed and coming back into the United States to people in the deep state, elected office, these NGOs they talk about, all just billions of dollars. So this is all about money. When you get down to it, it's just about money. So my view is that Fauci and Democrats in the deep state, they got to get Trump out. So they, on the back burner, they've been playing with this COVID thing that they're going to release. So on the back burner, they've had this COVID thing over there in China, working with them is something they can release to cause a problem in the U.S., slow down the economy. And the thing was, when COVID came out, my view is this. The reason they were in bed with China with it is China has no morals. They have no morals. And what is the worst thing in the China economy? Somebody that doesn't work. So somebody that's sickly or somebody that's elderly. What did COVID seem to take out? Oh, people with a lot of pre-existing conditions and elderly people. So they can thin out their herd of unproductive workers. Over here, it can attack people. A lot of times it's vulnerable people. And all of a sudden the economy comes to a halt. And the thing is, what's Fauci screaming? 6 foot distancing, wearing a mask. And they had us wearing a paper mask. I didn't wear a paper mask. Guys, that was complete and utter bullshit. I was in charge of a hazmat team. That paper mask did nothing. I mean, the reality is that was just, oh, brother, that was just pathetic how people with those masks, and you still see them today. So anyhow, again, my view is they released this into the United States. I know some people that I think actually got it early because they had went to the doctor and their doctors went, I don't know what this is. That's kind of a goofy looking flu. And the reason I think it was designed is, when was the last time you got sick and it took away your taste? So they screwed with something in there that kind of screwed with DNA. Trump, unfortunately, I think he got suckered. he believed the system, that he needed to do these things. They came out with the jab. I think down the road they'll come out. That was one of the worst things that's happened. Nobody really knows what that's going to do to us long term. You had up here in Kentucky, you had Kentucky State Patrol writing down tag numbers where people were at church. So they were closing down churches. They closed down a small place that sold like little concrete monuments and stuff here in Tennessee, while places that sold pot and liquor and Walmart were open. So they were deciding who we would shop at, where we would shop at. And that's a problem. So when you talk about the amount of money that's involved here, it's crazy. I mean, and we all realize people kill people every day for money. That's the reality. The only thing's a more powerful motivator than money is fear. And unfortunately, and that's why that was twofold. You had the people with the money, and then they spread the COVID thing, the fear, and just destroyed Trump's economy, which helped him not get elected. At the same time, what was happening? It's the same time, mainstream media is pushing Joe Biden. That guy had the attention span of a rabbit. He got put in office. He was a puppet. Now the deep state is running the office of the President of the United States. You got to be a fool if you can't see this. So the deep state's running this office, and who gets a pardon at the end? Fauci. And it's like for everything you've ever done in the last 10 years. There's a problem. We had a machine put a man in power. The President of the United States had no business being president. And they did everything they could to attack Trump the whole time, even to the point that when it was over, when Trump said he was going to run again, what did they do? They started attacking that guy at every single turn. Oh, he's got classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. They treated this guy like dirt. New York City, New York is a shithole. I'm sorry. New York, you're just a shithole. You're a problem. And they went after this guy tooth and nail. And you're going, really? Changing laws so that they can prosecute him for made-up crap. I don't know. This thing here got so out of hand, and to watch that fiasco the other day where Fauci was pleading the fifth over and over and over again. Hey, look, you Republicans, y'all in the room, y'all the biggest problem as he is. This crap has been going on under you. Y'all are sitting there with dog and pony show. The guy's pardon, you can't do nothing to him. You're not going to do nothing to him. It's dog and pony show. So the reality is, this is just cutting to the chase, and I know I'm rambling here a bit, but a man got elected from the outside. Again, his name could have been Bob Smith. He was doing things different. Economy's doing better. They unleash something that's not as bad as what they say it is for the average person. Then they preach all this stuff that we have to stop doing so they can see how much they control us. Because the money that's involved here, and because the money that's involved here, they're willing to kill millions of people for an agenda to stay in power. That's a problem, folks. That's a huge problem. But it's already happened. Shed, off page.